Is it just me, or is that Yellow Ranger a little too attractive, man? Hello, everyone. My name is Chet, and this is ChetChat, and we saw Power Rangers. Looking at the trailers for Power Rangers, I had wavering hopes, honestly. I didn't think it looked that great, but surprisingly, I kind of enjoyed the movie. In my opinion, there are two ways to watch this movie. You are either going to the movie, sitting down, turning your brain off, chomping on some popcorn, and just letting the movie tell its story, and you just suspend your disbelief and just enjoy the movie. Or you can nitpick the hell out of it. If you nitpick the hell out of this movie, which I was able to do, it's going to be very unenjoyable. But if you just let the movie tell a story and let it do its thing and you just follow through what the story is trying to tell you, you will definitely enjoy Power Rangers. The story it's the TV show. It is just like the TV show with some minor alterations and some more depth, I'll say, to make it a more serious, darker movie as all these reboots do now, like with Batman and Superman and all these other comic book franchises and cartoons. They just make it darker and grittier, and that's what Power Rangers does. It makes it darker and grittier, but it also has this weird feeling of a Transformers movie. It has that weird dry humor. I don't even want to say it's dry. It's not dry. It's like unclever humor where it's just in your face. It's like, oh, look, he's black. Oh, no, you're not. You're not black. Like you saw it in the trailer, that silly joke. Funny enough, the character doesn't even act like that, so it's weird that they put that joke in there. It just felt like really forced. But a lot of the jokes fall flat. In my theater, at least, nobody laughed at any of the jokes except for one person who was laughing at jokes that they even saw in the trailer. So it's like, who did they make this movie for? There's clearly things in the movie that are purely for the nostalgic fan base. You know the movie is made for adults in a sense. There's a lot of blood, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of like serious altercations that happen that I feel like is a little too much for a children's movie. But then you have these jokes that are very juvenile, terrible, and you're like, these jokes aren't meant for these adults, but this action and darkness is not meant for children. So you don't know what you're trying to do, I guess. Other than those weird points, let's just get down to the structure of the movie itself. I feel like the movie has a interesting pacing, but it's a little too teasy. But I guess they did the best they can with an origin movie. I would really like for this to have a sequel, because now we'll get more action and more Power Rangers, because most of the movie is just developing the character, and you'll get your action scenes and stuff, but a lot of it is just normal characters going through their teenage life and developing themselves, and like spoon feeding you these themes of teamwork, being a bully, becoming more self-aware, becoming more confident in yourself. A lot of these themes that are aimed for teenagers. But again, this movie seems like it's for adults looking at the violence. There's just so much blood in the movie. Oh my God, Jesus. So the pacing is weird, but it does keep me into the movie. Like, I know what's gonna happen. It's a pretty predictable movie. Like, it's weird. Like, these movies, they always make like the hero look like they're in trouble, but you know they're gonna win. But it's enjoyable, at least. Like, you just want to see how they do it. Is it fresh? Is it fun? Is it cool? And that's what this movie should aim to do. And it kind of does accomplish those things because it follows that Transformers formula. It reminds me a lot of the first Transformers movie, which I actually like a lot. So it has that going for it. I feel like it did a good job with an origin story. But again, for the people who are very critical about things that happen in movies, they're gonna nitpick the hell out of it. Like, CinemaSins is gonna have a million sins for this thing, man. If you guys don't know about CinemaSins, you should definitely check it out. It's a great show. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that for some reason the soundtrack is awful in this movie. I normally don't really care about soundtracks unless it's very prominent and you can't do without it. Like a lot of the Christopher Nolan movies, like Inception, Interstellar, the soundtracks are amazing and they make up like a good portion of the movie. If the soundtrack wasn't there, the movie would fall flat. Whereas with Power Rangers, though, I feel like the soundtrack could have been cooler and more epic because that's the story that they were giving you. It was like there's this very big like grand scheme of this destiny and stuff, but then they had this like weird techno kind of punk rock music. It was like really bad. It was noticeably bad, except for that one point where they play the Power Rangers theme song for it because they have to do it. And then going on to the actors, I think they did a really good job with the actors. Like, they were believable and fun. I liked how the characters are like delinquent delinquents, and they all have these serious personal problems. I feel like if you're a person in the audience who doesn't know who you are and you're like dealing with these certain issues that these characters are dealing with, it's a great thing to relate to these characters. Obviously, I don't really relate to any of them because I was a goody two-shoes in high school, and I only recently learned about myself a lot in the last 2 years, so it's weird. And again, I mentioned it before, but the Yellow Ranger, oh my god, I don't know. She's distractingly attractive in this movie. There's even a point in the movie where they zoom in on her face just so you can see like the color of her eyes, and you're like, it's like, oh my god, why am I gushing about this? But everyone else was pretty fun. Zach is cringy though, the Asian dude, he's very cringy, but he gets cooler later. Billy is like probably the best character in the movie, the most well developed because he goes through a bunch of changes. Kimberly is like copy and paste girl. Trini, who's super attractive for no reason, and then you got Jason, who is the main driving force of the movie, and everybody seems like just like, you know, good for the role, decent, nothing too crazy. Rita Repulsa, that lady, I felt like she had to overly be cheesy, I guess, for the movie. I guess they asked her to do it, and she did a good job as Rita. Bryan Cranston is way underused. I guess, you know, what can you do with a face in the wall? And I love him to death. He's great. Alpha was really, really fun. He was like if Master Splinter was Michelangelo, and he didn't have that annoying voice, and he did a lot of nostalgic things. Like he did say the ay 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 ay, but it was like really cool, and everybody like clapped a little bit in the movie theater. It was fun. Ultimately, I did enjoy this movie. Like if you, again, like you have to just watch it and just let it do its thing, let it do its movie thing. Be a movie. Yeah, it's kind of stupid you would do that. Yeah, it's kind of stupid that this person wouldn't do these things, but it's a movie, man. You just gotta let it go sometimes. You wanna enjoy a movie. You don't wanna have to nitpick it to death. So I definitely recommend watching Power Rangers. Pleasantly surprised. I actually kind of want to watch it again. I'm really hoping to do a second movie, and we might have ourselves a little trilogy here, man. You know, we got a lot of material. We got Lord Zed. We got to talk about the Green Ranger. We got to talk about White Ranger. We got to talk about, yo, they could reboot Ivan Ooze. Oh, snap, sir. And please do something about those Zords. You know what to do.